Greetings, massive. Greetings, everyone. Locked into right now to the session called Reggae from Africa, brought to you by Greg Isaac Foundation. And we have the next artist, the next big artist lined up for this event right now in the house. Greetings, Rocky Dawuni.
Greetings, 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 my brother. You know, sending love and positivity right from Ghana to you.
Akwaba, me have to say, you know, my brother, because, it's been a long time, you know.
Yes, yes,
your music, and finally I got the honor and opportunity to be speaking to you live, you know. So I know that there's a lot to talk about because your career is one that is, you know, spanned from a long, you know, decades already away. So we first want to know or ask you to introduce yourself to your millions of fans who are listening now. Let them know a bit of who you are, where you come from, and where you are right now speaking to them from.
Yes, yes. I want to use this opportunity to extend my shout out and greetings to all the people out in the world who are listening to beautiful reggae music right now and also tuned into this interview. My name is Rocky Dawuni. I come from West Africa, from the country of Ghana. I grew up here. My music is a fusion of reggae, African music, and then also a lot of global styles and soul, you know, global influences. I was also the first Ghanaian musician to be nominated for a Grammy for 2015 when my album, Branches of the Same Tree, was nominated in the reggae category for Best Reggae Music Album. And I started off, you know, my music, you know, from the inception. I was born in military barracks in Ghana, and there I was exposed to the music of Bob Marley, the music of Fela Kuti, and all the highlight music, traditional Ghanaian music that was kind of happening at that time. So during that time was also when Ghanaian army was involved in politics during the era of Jerry Rawlings, when the Ghanaian military took power. So here I was, a young child growing up with reggae music, and at the same time too with a military that was involved in politics. So within that background, I was poised and determined to use my music to as a tool for social change. So obviously, Fela, Bob Marley, Burning Spear, that was the kind of music that I gravitated towards. And then from then, from the barracks, I went to, in Ghana, we have what we call secondary school. Went to secondary school to sixth form, and then finally to the University of Ghana, where I studied philosophy and psychology. And it was during that time on campus that I launched my first band that was called Local Crisis. And Local Crisis became popular within Ghana. And once they became popular, I broke off and then launched my first album, which was The Movement. And then since then, I've released 7 albums. And I've had opportunity of, traveling all around the world, playing on, major stages, collaborating with, luminaries from top reggae artists to Stevie Wonder to, a whole lot of other people around the world. And it's been an incredibly fruitful and amazing journey. It's hard for me to kind of really put all of that in a gist, but so far, and then right now, there's a new EP too that was just released. That's called Voice of Boom Boom that you just heard the track Beautiful People from.
Right.
So in a gist, that's my story.
Yeah, you just touched upon this track because it's so lovely. I mean, it's so beautiful, like the name says. So you just kind of ran through the whole thing under 1 minute. Wow. I don't know. Don't worry, fans. Don't worry, man. This is Rocky Dawuni. And Rocky Dawuni is somebody always on his speed. So he took you on a very fast lane now, but I'm going to pull him back. Yeah, don't worry, fans. But before I do that, I want to play Beautiful People straight from the top one more time without no break. Listen to this track from Rocky Dawuni out of his brand new thing coming out already out there, Beautiful People.
Dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. Come and sing along, yeah. Here I got a song for you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people. Come and sing along, yeah. There are many tears we cannot hide. There are many bonds that can be undone. Just like our bond. Yeah. Everything in life is a sacrifice, but I know it was worth the price. For I did it for you. Here I come with a song, my beautiful people. Oh, beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. Oh, beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah.
Yes, my brother. This is a lovely track, you know, trust me so much. I love it. And
Yes. Thank you.
I have to pull you back a little bit because you were just too fast, you know, for the people to catch up. They're already asking, what? So you said you were born in the barracks, yeah?
Yes.
And that means your father or your mother, one of them was a soldier, a military personnel.
Yes, my father. Yeah, my father was in the Ghanaian army. My father came from a traditional African royal family. So right now, even in my village, my older brother is the chief of my people now.
Yes.
But then at that time, my father was the last born of his family. So there was no opportunity, you know, in the foreseeable future for him to see him becoming the chief. So he left the village and moved to the capital and joined the Ghanaian military, and then and that was where we were all born in the military barracks. Yeah.
And you're not the only child of your parents. How many are you in the family?
We are 8 children. 8 children. Yes.
Wow.
Okay. You know, and then I'm second, and my older brother now, he's Reggae Dawuni. He's the chief of Bumbong. So the new album is called Voice of Bumbong. Actually, the new EP, and the vision was to try to use this album to also project, you know, people starting to focus on our indigenous culture and embracing our indigenous culture as a way forward, you know, because when you look at what's going on in the world right now, you know, there is people are thirsting for something real and something deep, you know, and I feel that once you are able to, you know, kind of shift your gaze and focus on where you're coming from, then you can find a foundation where you can anchor yourself. So this album was to incite and catalyze, you know, people starting to shift and starting to focus on their culture as a means to advance into the future, you know. So Beautiful People was one of the tracks, and then a lot of some of the songs to I try to really mix you know, traditional African styles to it, you know, and yes.
Okay, this is great to know, Rocky. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned your ethnic family, they call the Konkomba, yeah?
Yes.
Where you originally come from. I mean, you are an artist that tried to blend culture into music in a very special way, and the world is recognizing that, yeah?
Yes.
Your first album you mentioned, which was The Movement, and then the follow-up, Crusade, and then The Awakening. It's like they are all, I think the Barracks life really caught up on you because they are all, the title of those albums are all kind of a militancy in a way, you know, though when someone looks at your demeanor, the person will say, what a gentle Rasta man, you know. But those album titles are, you know, they are speaking out, you know, loud, you know, Awakening, Crusade, The Movement, it shows the militants in you. So, and you've been doing great, because the world has been responding positively to your work. Now, looking at Ghana, Ghana is like my country, Nigeria, where the transatlantic slave trade took place. I was lucky enough to be in Cape Coast, and I went to the slave castle there and saw things myself. You coming from this place we're speaking about, how do you see Ghana today? And are they moving in the right direction? Because I know you just had an election not long ago. What do you think is going on in Ghana? Are you happy with the current leadership? Because I, as an African, we know what we are suffering when it comes to leadership in Africa. So you,
Yes.
as an activist, as a voice of the people, somebody who has a microphone that talks to millions, how do you see this present government in Ghana? What's going on there?
Well, it's very hard to just like really zone in on one government, rather than something that has been a systemic thing that has been going on, past various governments and still going on. I think that, Ghana had the fortitude of being the first African country, Black African country, to be independent in 1957 through the works of our leader, Kwame Nkrumah. And since then, we've gone through a very turbulent history, military changeovers and all of that, and then back to a democratic system. But now what we have is that we have a two-party system, just like so many places where the democratic system kind of becomes two parties. But the issue that has been going on for the last two governments is also in terms of what I called the leadership of the messianic concept of African leadership, where leaders promise everything that they can in order for the people to vote for them. And then once the vote happens, then it's all, playing catch up and all of that kind of stuff. So people have taken, in terms of what they say in politics has been diminished because they feel that, as long as the most outlandish things that you can say to get people's attention, you just say it, So the truth, real truth, I feel has been lost in terms of the process. And once that is lost, then you lose really the soul of the people and their commitment to that. And when it comes to the leadership, the leadership in Ghana right now, I will say that there've been a lot of expectations, in Ghana, but those expectations, we're still indebted, very, as a nation, a country that is endowed with so much resources, so much human capital when it comes to youth. There's still a wide unemployment. There is our environmental systems too. There's been a lot of destruction, when it comes to our waterways and all of that through all the mining stuff that is going on. So it's not something that I can stand here and say one way or the other that maybe things are going in the way that I see that are right. But at the same time, too, I always like to not play the advocate of constantly condemning leadership, when I feel that there's also a way whereby we can encourage leadership to do the right thing. Because if that's what we have, they said, when life gives you lemons, you got to make lemonade. So now it's about how do we transform our society, not to depend on the works of leadership, but also to really depend on an awakened people, and that's where we come in. I feel that, when we talk about the transatlantic slave trade, our people were taken long time ago. We went through colonialism. A lot of our countries, was able to win independence, later on. But then since that time, we still have not been able to shake, should I say, the shackles of fully shake the shackles of slavery and everything. I mean, you should look at our, still our judicial system and everything is still based on the British system. Our educational system too doesn't have its own shall I say, unique identity, still based on the colonial models. Our culture, is still being relegated to the back for the sake of, new forms of culture that we are adopting from other places at the expense of who we are and what we are. So I feel that we are thirsting for, that leadership that will come and be able to harness the real power of the people, inspire the people to recognize their own power, and also be able to let the people know that, our advancement and our progress does not depend on a certain political party, but it depends on our awakened people and their determination to go out there and convert our God-given resources for our own benefit, and at the same time to better ourselves and use that as a means for the march forward. So I will say that, I'm not the one that trusts in, politics to be the one that is going to deliver our people. It's going to take our people themselves, waking up and doing things for themselves. That's what it's going to take us to move forward.
Yes, my brother, that was great put there. And I'm just going to leave that to sink into the people, so people realize that right away, the power is in your hands. And the change you want can start right with you and impact the society around you. I'm going to play a track now. Just as Rocky has shined a light on this aspect, I'm going to play this track, and that's what it's going to be.
Every day, in every way, oh, I'm gonna let my whole light shine. Every day, in every way, oh, I'm gonna let my whole light shine. On and on and on and on, for the world to see. Yeah, yeah. Oh, people, I am ready to chart a new beginning. And every little step I'll take will reach for a higher ground. It's not gonna be easy. Fate will let it be. And I know with you by my side, it's all gonna be alright. But I say, hey, I believe we can. Shine the light so bright, alright. I say, hey, I believe we can. Shine the light so bright, alright. Every day, every way, oh, I'm gonna let my whole light shine. Every day, in every way, gonna let my whole light shine. On and on and on and on, for the world to see. Yeah, yeah. Light up the darkness with a positive spirit. Oh, let the sun shine in with a wave of a joyful sound. Whether high or low, I will not be afraid to lift my head up, reach and touch the sky. I say, hey, I believe we can.
Yes, Brother Rocky. This is a lovely
Yes.
track again, thing called Shine a Light, and you've been shining that light. I mean, you mentioned it earlier when you were trying to give us a very quick run through of your biography. You've been on stage with Steve Wonder, John Legend, and to name a few, Peter Gabriel of big fame, and so forth and so on. But I mean, you released the movement, yeah? From that time, you released your first album. If I remember, 90, was it 96 or 91? Till
96.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
Till now, seven album counting. What has this transition, this journey, what have you taken along from that first time to now, to this new album and EP you're promoting now? How has this been with this journey, you know?
Well, you know, the artistic journey is one that, you know, usually when you start, it's very hard for you to be able to see into the future, you know, but you know that one thing that will ensure that every step that you take, you know, is a step that advances you forward is when you invest that time and commitment and to you know, honing your craft and improving your music and also seeking various opportunities. You know, starting from Ghana, you know, the journey has not been one that has been, you know, very easy. You know, because when we first started from my first album, even before the first album, you know, I remember that, you know, we tried, you know, because the Ghana industry was very focused on high life music, which was the traditional style of Ghana. So reggae was kind of like still struggling for an identity within like the Ghanaian music scene. So I remember, you know, a lot of producers and labels, you know, that I met in the initial, you know, a lot of them were, you know, were like, well, you know, you have a great voice and we think that you have potential, but, you know, we don't have the ability to invest, you know, or sign you onto our label because we don't really see reggae music, you know, taking root within Ghana and also the potential for it to grow, you know. So I knew from that time that it was going to be a lonely journey for me, you know. So what I did was that I decided to set up those structures myself, you know, by, you know, creating my own label at that time, Aquarian Records. I traveled to the United States, interned at the record label, learned how to promote music and all of that. You know, learned really the dynamics of the record business. You know, and then applied that to my independent label, and then started using that as an imprint. You know, where I was releasing my records and then doing licensing deals outside. You know, but with every stage too. I mean, when I released the first album, the movement, when it came out, luckily for me, there was a track from the movement called "What Goes Around" that was licensed by Atlantic Records at that time. So, from Ghana, releasing it and then starting to get traction within the U.S. market. Then it was followed by the album The Movement, the album Crusade. And Crusade had a song in Ghana, which became a very big, huge hit in my country. And then also, you know, across the continent, and then was also licensed by Putumayo World Music, one of the top world music labels around, you know, in the world, which was part of a compilation. And then that became very, very, very popular. So that was when I started being booked for festivals within North America. You know, so the movement, Crusade, and then the follow-up album, The Awakening, was an album that was almost like a transitional album. That set the stage for the follow-up album that was called Book of Changes. Book of Changes was when I started infusing a lot more African traditional styles, Afrobeat, and different elements of my own traditions into the reggae music style that I had. So it started changing the music. It was reggae, but seen from the spectacles of Africa. You know, reggae that was going very deep into the traditional music of Africa, the spirituality of Africa, and all of that. So at that time, this new sound, which defined me, which I call Afro Roots, which is my sound, what it did was that it moved me into the more of the world music genre space, but it also led me to start breaking into American film and TV, and also into the video game world. A song from it, Wake the Town, was licensed for the big FIFA, big FIFA video game by EA. A few tracks of that too were also licensed for very big TV shows in the United States. So
All
it
right,
started
Rocky,
moving.
me I go hold you because me know
Yes.
say your story is too big.
Yes,
I go
yes,
play
sir.
one track now, that kind of emphasizes on that your effort, to try and cut out your sound from the whole thing going on. And this one is titled African Thriller, Rocky Dawuni.
Yes.
Listen to this, Massive.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, for every boom, 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 for every boom, 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 African Thriller, na dance hall ruler. African Thriller, na dance hall ruler. This be musical campaign. We go hit you without pain. Some of you go they complain, but they dance hall keep on moving. So my people no go be long before the weak hand go make strong. Now you know say nothing be wrong to move to this tempo all night long. Now liberation music. We go to rock with new foundation. African Thriller, na dance all ruler. Everything we gonna be hot, hot. African Thriller, na champion ruler.
Yes, Rocky. This one
Yes.
now, yeah, this is to let the fans know that what you're saying is just the reality of it. Because when I heard this tracking, I was like, okay, this is just something, different coming out from. It's a pure African mashup, and I love it because
Yes.
it has everything in it, the African vibes, the dancehall vibes also in it, and
Yes.
you were able to transport this very lovely on this track. So your journey has been one that has been great, and you mentioned it. You've performed in, I don't know, almost every part of the globe: Canada, Bali, Switzerland, of course, in Europe, in so many places. Kennedy Center, you played. Hollywood Bowl, you've played. But now we want to talk about the other aspect of you, which maybe some know, but maybe millions of your fans need to know and hear more about your activism. Yeah, you've received so many accolades and awards and every other thing coming up. But what moved you into getting into the activist part of your I mean, to combine this activism with your music? What was the push or the I don't know how to formulate that, but what got you into
The
activism?
inspiration. Yeah.
Inspiration too, yeah.
Yeah.
What got you into that?
Well, we all know that we are all born somewhere, we all grew up in some kind of community, some kind of tribe, some kind of village. And a lot of times, when you grow up from a community, the community there's always issues that need attention. And I also recognized at a very young age, when I knew that music was going to be my path, that I just did not want to be any ordinary musician, creating music for people to dance. I wanted to be a musician who could also use not only the art form of music, but also the platform of music, and then also the voice that music gave me, the unique opportunity to engage communities, to convert that as a means to bring real development and change in the lives of people and communities. So I kind of had that intention from the onset. I wanted to make sure too that, if, I'm singing reggae music, I'm talking about empowerment, I'm talking about uplifting the people, I'm talking about, pointing my hands towards others for causing poverty and all of that. What am I doing too on the ground to solve that issue? So it is by me getting on the ground and also going to work on issues that affect the community. If there is an issue like, girl child education, where I feel like a lot of the women in some of the communities, in our African communities, we're not getting equal opportunity to education. It's something that I have to make it, I have to advocate and try to, shift and push the community so that is corrected, and when I see that, trees are being cut, and I know that in the future, this is going to cost us our environment, this is going to cost us, our land, this is going to cost us, a lot of resources that is important for our next level of development. I'm going to shed attention on it. If I think there's corruption going on in the system that is affecting our people, and leaders are, taking, advantage of people with impunity, I have to be able to play a role to make a statement and converse and talk about that. So activism for me was always part of the music, because I understood what the power that laid in the music. And I know that also the luminaries that I had looked up to, people like Fela Kuti, Bob Marley, James Brown, Curtis Mayfield, Tupac Shakur, all these artists that I have, really loved and I appreciated, all saw the world in that sense, because I believe that the greatest legacy we can leave is how we impact the lives of others. And if we can use our unique gifts that God has given us for that, then I believe that we have honored, our Creator, and also honored ourselves.
Wow, this is great to hear from you, and I'm sure that your millions of fans who are listening will be happy to hear this great thing, coming out from you. Because, I mean, yeah, your work has been amazing, what you've been doing out there in terms of humanitarian activities and other forms of activism. Like you said, you don't just want to be and just like the normal musician we know who goes and does this thing on the mic and that's it. You want to also contribute to bring the change that you yourself will want to see in the society where you live and globally also. I mean, you were in an Instant Karma album, which was big to support Darfur. You were also in another project, which is, what's it called again? That had Bono in it. And,
Playing for Change.
Playing for Change, exactly.
Yeah.
You were in that great project also. And Instant Karma was well received. It was boom, because it was also published by a big brand, or big label, Warner Brothers. And
yes.
You were talking about your music getting into film, crossing over into different dimensions of entertainment, and reaching out to people in different forms of, through
and for me too, and not to cut you off, and for me too, I believe in going to the grounds, so most of the stuff, the activism that I've done, I've traveled, when after Kenya went through the political turmoil and there was the new elections, I was one of the artists that went in there before the elections, went and worked with a lot of people, musicians and Red Cross and everybody, to set the stage for peace before the elections were announced. I traveled to to Rwanda to go and work with survivors of the genocide and work with Aegis Trust, to try and promote peace building. I've traveled to I went to the northern region, to work on guinea worm eradication, and through that collaborated with the Carter Center, and through that guinea worm was eradicated in the northern part of Ghana, So for me, I believe in walking the talk. It's not only talking about things or doing records, but I believe in getting into the community when issues are there, collaborating with organizations that are working on the ground, giving the organizations a voice, bringing the community onto the table and facilitating the harmonious alignment of purpose so that you can be able to solve that issue. I believe in that. I believe in creating change, not only through or talking about it, but also using my energy to manifest that change too. So that's how I see activism. It has to also you have to work so that I have my word when I speak about doing the right thing. My words are backed by real action so that they will resonate truthfully to me myself.
Well, Rocky, you can put it better than that. I mean, I was just saying that I was just about to say what you said, but in a different form, but you cleared it up. You get to the people. You don't just, you're not the type that just says it like you said, speaking it, but you get to the underground. You mentioned in Rwanda, you also in Mali. I know the works you did in Mali, but one of the ambassadorship you got was Alliance for Global Safe or Clean Cook Stove. I know say Ghana people, they love cook. So how come you enter into the cook stove thing? What inspired this?
Well, I'm currently ambassador for United Nations Goodwill Ambassador for Environment. So
that is true.
I'm a UN ambassador, and I'm also a global ambassador for the Clean Cooking Alliance. Clean Cooking Alliance works on energy. It's about creating efficient means of cooking so that we can be able to prevent deforestation that comes from charcoal, and also using kind of inferior cooking should I say stoves and all of that utilizes
kerosene and all those things that
exactly transforming into cleaner burning energy, and at the same time to creating microeconomies that will support communities and also women and all of that. So it's as I said, I get involved in things when I feel that it is going to have huge transformative benefits for communities and people. And I think all of these things, and even my UN ambassadorship right now, I'm focusing on initiatives in terms of plastics, especially in Ghana, because it's a big issue right here, where, plastics are causing, blocking a lot of waterways, causing flooding, all of this stuff that is happening, the cutting of trees, as I said earlier, to illegal mining and polluting of clean water sources, and, all of these things that require vigilance. But at the same time, too, because there's not a lot of sensitization of people to recognize that we need to stand up and preserve and protect our environment, I feel my role is to be that voice that can constantly work with people and eventually be able to make a dent in those places. So the ambassadorship for me is just a means to also, take my message farther.
Rocky, I'm just gonna play a tune that also touches on that, because you are the voice for the people and you're the voice to the people. So listen up, massive. This brand new tune again from me, brand new, coming out from Rocky Stable, is called Wake the Town. If you listen good to Rocky Dawuni, Wake the Town.
Yeah. All right. night feels so warm. No one will sleep tonight in the falls of this town. I'm here to take you high till you catch my vibe. Move your heart and feet to Africa's groove. Wake up the town so we can shake it again. Wake up the town so we can shake it again. Wake up the town so we can shake it again. Brother, wake the town so we can shake it again. Wake the town so we can shake it again. Shake it. Shake it now. Surrender to the sound. We are so irresistible. We did not come to change, but only to fulfill. But now we got tonight. Try to make things right. To make you lose yourself to this African beat. Wake up the town so we can shake it again. Wake up the town so we can shake it again. Wake up the town so we can shake it again. Brother, wake the town so we can shake it again. Sister, wake the town so we can shake it again. Shake it. Shake it now. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it now. Shake it, 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 shake it now. Shake it, shake it, shake it.
Yeah, the Grammy Award 2016 come and go, but we know that Rocky will be winning more awards, and the next Grammy you are going to bring it back to Ashanti Kingdom, you know, and we'll celebrate that. I know that more awards are coming, more accolades, because your works are shining brighter and brighter. So keep it up, my brother. Just keep doing the good works, and we're looking forward, you know, to also benefit from that, you know, through the GI Foundation. Thank you so very much for having the time to come in to listen with us, to share your great weight of you know, good vibes and positive energy with the world and all the fans who are listening right now. Thank you.